Okay, I guess this is recording. I don't know if you can hear me or see me, but let me tell you about yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday the 15th or 16th, and we went up to Royal Dornoch. We had got in the night before. We're staying in Inverness on one of the main streets, and as you can see, there's edges and traffic. There's a hill behind me. Loch Ness is behind me by about 15 miles. I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, we drove up to Dornoch. We crossed 3 bridges, not like the causeway, but they were kind of long bridges. They crossed some rivers and some kind of low-lying water type things. When we were there, the course was really nice. It was extremely well manicured. But if you got off the fairway into the rough, or even into the stuff they call gorse, which is these bushes that are about 6 feet tall that look like just like shrubs, if you hit into that, it's a lost ball. And if you hit into the big rough, it's basically a water hazard, so you lose it. I shot a 91. I don't know what Jim and Dad had, but they had some tough holes. We all did, but I kind of kept it together by just keeping the ball in play, and I was really fortunate, and I'm happy with my score. I tried Dornoch Ale in the clubhouse afterwards. It was really creamy beer, very good. Too bad that's not available worldwide. And some famous grouse whiskey. Shared a little shot of that with Jim, and you just sip at it, and it's very tasty. It doesn't burn like normal whiskey would, which is surprising. We walked around Aberdeen in the little shops. Here comes Dad loading up the car. And we walked by a little church that was there. We went to a restaurant. I took a lot of pictures when we were there. We went to a restaurant and had some black pudding, which was kind of like a crab cake, but instead of the crab, it was made with kind of ham and haggis type stuff. It was really tasty. They had a poached egg on top of it, which seems to be the norm here. My breakfast had a poached egg on top of it this morning, and my dinner last night. So I've had a lot of eggs. And the weird thing is, eggs here, the yolks aren't yellow. The yolks are dark orange. So they're really rich, tasting very good. There's a lot of windy roads around here. We drove up to Loch Ness last night after dinner. It was still light out. It was 10:30 at night, and it was still light out. We drove 15 or 20 miles on a windy road next to the loch so that we could see Urquhart Castle, which is that famous one that you see in the pictures. But it turns out it's really just a tourist attraction that's gated off, and you have to buy tickets during the working hours to be able to walk down to it. So we saw it from the road, and then we drove back and went to bed, but it was probably 11:30, and it was just barely getting dark out. So I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, so you can tell it's not that cold today or rainy, so that's nice, but I'm keeping my jacket handy. When we were in Aberdeen, or when we were in Inverness before we went up to Loch Ness, we went to kind of like a sports bar and got some food, and Jim had some stew, and Dad had a steak or something, and I had haggis basically, and it was really good. It was very tasty. I know everybody would like it because it's kind of like boudin. And then I noticed in the towns we've been to in Inverness, which I keep calling Aberdeen. We're going to Aberdeen today. Inverness, Dornoch, Edinburgh, they all have High Street. I'm like, that's weird. All these streets are named the same thing. Well, guess what? I think High Street is the same as Main Street here in the U.S. And I've noticed that all the places have CF bulbs, compact fluorescent, and flat screen TVs, even older houses, because the government here has banned CRTs and regular incandescent bulbs for energy saving purposes. And people are friendly here. I just moved the car here in the parking lot, and a guy waved at me and said, "Thanks, mate. Thanks for moving your car," so that he could back out. So they were really friendly. Alright, well that's all for now. I hope this video was recording, and I'll talk to you later.